everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Collector's Edition New Gods Metron. I got this guy at Target today, so let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, ages 12 plus. DC Multiverse Metron, McFarlane Collector's Edition. Here he is in the package. Looks like we have 4 hands, his large chair, collector's card, and display stand. One side of the package, Metron from New Gods is the 45th figure in the Collector's Edition subline. Other side, Metron. At the bottom, there's his barcode if it helps. And on the back, here he is posed up from the comics, sitting in his chair. So no further ado, let's open him up. And here's the regular version of Metron, next to the Platinum Chase variant. Alright, now that we've got this figure out of the package, here he is with all the accessories laid out. We have a display stand, a collector's card, 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, and most importantly, the Mobius Chair. Before we take a look at all that, let's talk about and check out the figure. So this is Metron. He's the greatest mind of New Genesis. He's a new god explorer who seeks scientific knowledge in further corners of existence with the aid of the universal traveling vehicle, the Mobius Chair. In some origins, he was given the Mobius Chair by a guy named Mobius, which I think turned out to be Anti-Monitor, and in some versions, he built the chair. Obsessed with his quest for knowledge, Metron dedicated his life to the creation of a device that could traverse time and space. He called the device the Mobius Chair. And to power it, he needed element X, which is the same element he used to create the boom tubes. However, his knowledge comes with a cost. To get enough element X for Mobius Chair, he had to make a bargain with Darkseid, giving Apocalypse the technology of boom tubes. Logically, Darkseid used the technology to make war with New Genesis. Metron used the chair to travel through time, space, and other dimensions at will. The Mobius Chair is even equipped with a tractor beam powerful enough to pull a planet from its orbit. So he's a very powerful, very intelligent new god. So this is Metron in his classic traditional color scheme. It's based off the Page Puncher Superman body. As you can see on his face, he's got this sort of campy light blue mask with that little sort of shape on his forehead there. Let's go further down. He's got this kind of logo on his chest. The body itself looks kind of bland. It's kind of plain. He's got a light blue diaper, light blue outfit, but a little bit darker. Double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Like I said, it's a very basic buck, but it works for Metron. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, and if you think his color scheme is campy, well, there's a Platinum Chase variant with his modern colors. It looks pretty good for what it's supposed to be. It definitely looks like Metron. And then, here's his figure, broken down as far as he can go, with all of his removable parts detached. Now let's check out his accessories, starting off with the boring stuff. Here's his display stand, typical McFarlane display stand we've seen countless times before. Now they're putting the classic DC logo on there. And then we have his collector's card. As you can see, it's an image of Metron in the Mobius Chair, traveling through time and space. McFarlane Collector's Edition. On the back, there is a description. If you want to read that, pause now. Now let's look at his hands. He has a total of 4 hands, 2 left hands, and 2 right hands. Here he is with his first pair of hands. These are his fists. And here's his alternate pair of hands. These are a pair of open hands. Now let's look at his chair. This is the Mobius Chair, a very powerful device in the DC universe. It comes in 2 separate pieces. When put together, it looked like this. Pretty much, it's a chair. Almost looks like a throne. It's got different sort of control panels on the sides there. His feet will go here. There's the display base. He sits there. The backside is rather hollow. And it has this thing up top, which actually spins, which is a pretty cool effect. Here's the green Mobius Chair, next to the Platinum Chase black version. Here are all the various chairs and thrones that McFarlane has made. We have the Omega Chair, a couple of Mobius Chairs, a large Darkseid throne with flames behind it, and then Black Adam's throne. Here's a look at Metron, sitting in his Mobius Chair. Now I wanted to check out the reuse differences and similarities between the regular version of Metron, which is in his classic light blue color scheme, and the Platinum Chase variant, which is a black outfit and is his modern look. So let's take a closer look. It is 100% the same figure, same sculpt, same articulation. This guy, his whole outfit is light blue. The trunks and gloves are an even lighter blue. And this guy is done in all black, and he has these white lines going all around them. Almost looks like he'd be from the New 52. Everything else is the same. You can see that little sort of spot at the top of his mask. This one here, you can see his flesh, and this one here is still part of his mask with black around it. And for the differences and similarities between Metron and the Page Puncher Superman, they utilize the same base body, but have some significant differences at the same time. Obviously, the heads are totally different. The top part of the torso, it is different, but very similar. You can see it's got some sort of wrinkles on the material, and the muscles are a little bit different on Metron. The stomach is the same. The arms, all the way down, they even have the little sort of edge of the sleeves there, sculpted from the Superman. And the hands are different. Metron actually comes with some fists that are not quite as oversized as Superman's. The diaper piece is different, and then the legs, at least the top part is the same, and the bottom part is a little bit different, as Superman has these sculpted boots and Metron does not. So a lot of shared parts, but a lot of differences at the same time. Here are all the McFarlane DC Multiverse figures that utilize this base body. I count a total of 13 of them. Superman, Wildcat, Firestorm, Metron, and Orion. I think it's a good base body. They sort of evolved it to be a little bit more blank than it originally was, and that's good. It works really well for figures like Metron and Wildcat and Orion. And it's different from the Blue Beetle body, so McFarlane has at least a couple different blank canvas bodies to choose from. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at the figure and its accessories, let's check out his height. From bottom to the top of his head, it's about 7.1, maybe 7.2 inches tall, which can translate to about 18 centimeters. And for his articulation, starting with his head, of course, you're going to rotate side to side. He can look up quite a bit, down quite a bit as well. Very good range of motion in his head there. Can't tilt his head from one side to the other. Shoulders on a ball joint, goes up more than 90 degrees, up, down, around. He's got this butterfly ring between his shoulder and chest, increase the range of motion and cover a large gap that would be there. I feel like it could be a little bit tighter in there. Bicep cut. Double jointed elbows. His wrist can rotate and it's hinged as well. Ball joint in his torso. Rotate around. Forward and back. Another one in his waist. Rotate around. Forward and back. Between the two, pretty good range of motion in the torso area, although the top part totally breaks up that sort of design or pattern. Legs, complete as the splits, McFarlane style hip joints, rotation is non-existent. Legs go forward about that far, back not much. Double jointed knees, and his ankle. Forward and back, rotate, tilt, rock, and toe articulation. Here's a look at Metron and his Mobius Chair, traveling through space and time. Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures, starting off with some other New Gods figures. Here's the regular version of Metron, next to the modern Platinum Chase variant. And here he is, next to Darkseid. Darkseid is the leader of Apocalypse, and one of the most powerful New Gods. And here, next to Calibac, which is one of Darkseid's sons. Then, with both McFarlane and Mattel Orion. Orion is another one of Darkseid's sons. Next, with the Mattel Desaad. He's a servant of Darkseid. And now, with the DC Direct Grail. Grail is Darkseid's daughter. Here are all the different New Gods that I have. McFarlane has not done Grail or Desaad, and it doesn't look like they're going to get around to doing it. They've made quite a few of the New Gods. We have Mr. Miracle, he's out, and I should have mine in a few days. The two I would love to see them make would be Big Barda and Granny Goddess. Here's Metron next to Anti-Monitor. From what I read, I believe the original Mobius that gave him the Mobius Chair turned out to actually be Anti-Monitor the whole time. So here's the McFarlane Collector's Edition Wave 1. Every single Collector's Edition figure has a Platinum Chase variant. Here are both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the first appearance Superman, the Abyss, and Alan Scott Green Lantern. And here's the second wave of Collector's Edition figures, both regular and Platinum versions of Firestorm, Hawkman, and Sinestro. Then, the third wave of Collector's Edition figures, we have the death and return of Superman, Captain Carrot, Batman as Green Lantern, and Wonder Woman. Here's the fourth wave. This wave consisted of Penguin, Starfire, and Captain Boomerang. And here's the fifth wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of Sergeant Rock, Connor Kent Superboy, and Manga Batman. Here's the sixth wave of Collector's Edition figures, both versions of the Red Hood, Clock King and Dr. Time, Ragman, and Agent Liberty. And finally, here's the seventh wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the Dark Knight Returns Batman, Huntress, and some Green Lantern Corps members. We have Tomar Ray, Evan Sewer, Arcus Chumuk, and the Green Man. And then here's the eighth wave of Collector's Edition figures. This wave was unusually large. We have both the regular and Platinum versions of Lightning Lad, Simon Bowles Green Lantern, Geoforce, Grid, the Christopher Reeve Superman, and Mr. Terrific. Then, with wave 9 of the Collector's Edition, Guy Gardner Green Lantern, Captain Cold, and Power Girl. And here's wave 10 of McFarlane's Collector's Edition, both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of the Year 2 Batman, Deadshot, and Adam Strange. And here's wave 11 of the Collector's Edition, at least I think. The way they're releasing exclusives, variants, it's kind of hard to tell what the wave is at this point. We have both the regular and Platinum versions of the Target exclusive Strange Lives of Superman, Hawk Girl, Yellow Jacket, Mr. Terrific, and then Red Lantern Guy Gardner. And here's the newest wave of McFarlane Collector's Edition figures. We have both the regular and Platinum Chase variants of Kite Man, Metron, Dark Archer, and Dark Star. I'm not exactly sure what the next wave is going to look like, but the next collector's figures coming out are classic Deathstroke, Mirror Master, and then Batman with the Mobius Chair. Definitely look forward to that one. Now let's check him out. Next to some other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here he is, next to the most recent Batman wave, Troika Batman, Luke Fox Batwing, and Kenner Homage Azrael. Here's Metron, next to the most recent digital wave, Monarch, No Man's Land Batman, Disco Nightwing, and Spoiler. And here he is, with the most recent Page Punchers, Golden Age First Appearance Wonder Woman, and Jacketless Superboy. Then, with the Ross exclusive James Gunn movie and Hush Superman figures. And now, with some McFarlane cover recreations, we have the Kingdom Come Superman, Dark Knight Returns Batman, and the infamous Stolen Killing Joke Joker. Here's Metron, next to the Dark Knight's Metal Merciless and the Batman Who Laughs 2-pack. And here he is, next to the green and yellow rainbow Batman figures. Then, with the Nightmare Arkham City Batman, the Jokerized Dick Grayson Robin, and the Blacklight Etrigan the Demon. And now, with the Superman vs. Godzilla 2-pack. And finally, with the black and white accent Year 2 Batman and Grim Knight. Now let's check him out, next to some action figures from different various companies, so we can see how he fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you don't know which lines you can mix him with. Since he's a McFarlane toy, they are typically the 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. But first, let's check him out with some of his McFarlane Toys brothers. In front of you are 5 different action figures, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. And now, with some Jack-specific resin figures and Diamond Select toys, here's Metron, next to a jar of ragu, roasted garlic, and Parmesan Alfredo sauce. And here he is, with some DC Direct and NECA figures. Then, with both some Mattel and Jazzwares wrestling figures. And now, with some Mezco and Mattel DC figures. Next, with some Mafex and Hasbro Marvel Legends. And finally, with some SH Figure Arts and Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, it's a cool Metron figure. I don't have any real personal attachment to Metron. I'm aware of who he is, and the New Gods, and the Mobius Chair, and all that sort of stuff. The figure is pretty basic and plain looking, but it's pretty accurate to what Metron should look like. The coolest thing about this figure is the deluxe accessory, the Mobius Chair. I love the fact that it has that little spinny thing at the top. It's pretty cool. I love the fact that we have a classic green version, a modern black version, and the upcoming Batman version. The figure's accessories, now there's extra hands, and I'm really happy they toned down the size of the fists compared to the old ones. And then, of course, the Mobius Chair, which is awesome. His articulation, sculpt, paint job are everything you'd expect from a modern McFarlane figure. If I were to rate this guy, I'll probably give him a 7.5 out of 10. He gets a 7.5 because the cool chair that he comes with. If it weren't for the chair, I'd probably give this guy about a 6. Figure's very basic, but it's a welcome addition to the collection. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.